Hello, all of my soul family. It's story time from Linda. How are you all today? Well, I'm glad everybody's doing good. Okay, so my guide Hamied would like me to tell the story of how I met him. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I've never really said this out loud before. So it was 10 years ago. It was 2005, and I was living in Utah. I was living at my brother's cult church, and I was really sad because I had just dumped my boyfriend, but that's, anyways, so things were hard, but anyways, I was really sad and lonely, and I asked one night before I went to bed if I could have the Pretty Woman experience. And I don't know what it was about this time, but it seemed like everything I asked for, I would go to bed and it would freaking happen. Anyways, so I went to bed, and then the next morning I got up, and there was a new name on my Facebook account, and his name was Fireman. And I looked at it and went and looked at his profile. I hadn't added him to my Yahoo. It was a Yahoo account because it was back then in 2005, and I hadn't added him, and so I was like, interesting. So I went to his account and went to his page or whatever and saw that his name was Hamied, and I saw that he believed in angels. That's all it said. And I had to go to work, so I went to work and I came back. And when I came back, I got back on and we had a conversation. He was online, and we had a conversation, and he talked me into going to seeing him. At first I wasn't going to go, but then I felt really compelled to go, like I really wanted to, and it was really strange. I went to see him, and it was really strange because I almost pulled up to his house. I pulled up right in front of his house across the street, and I didn't, not very good with directions, but it was like really easy to find him for some reason. And so I pulled up in front of his house, and everything, we walked in through his door. It was like walking through time. It was like walking into another dimension. As a matter of fact, all of a sudden my unseen guides were just like there talking to me spiritually while I was visiting with this Hamied in the physical. And we talked about all kinds of spiritual things and everything like that, and we did end up in his room. His house was strange because there was hardly anything in it. Just the front room, and his bedroom had some things in it. I don't even think he had anything in the kitchen. He claimed that he lived here, but I just didn't really buy it. But, so his room looked like kind of a hotel room. It just had a bed and a picture. I mean, in the front room just had a couch, a little armchair, and a picture on the wall. There just wasn't much to the decorations in this place, and it didn't really look lived in. It looked like somebody was attempting to make it look live in. And it felt like I stepped through time, or stepped into another dimension when I got there. And it was really, really strange. But anyways, and then all of my unseen guides are sitting here talking to me, and they're telling me, this is a one-time thing. This isn't going to happen again. This is just a special request, and you can't get too serious type of thing. I mean, the gist of it was, we're granting you a wish. And we did end up going up and making love a couple of times. And this man was like, wow, like he understood spiritual stuff way better than I did at that time 10 years ago. And he was way above my knowledge. And I was just like listening to him, and just like, he got me thinking about so many things in a universal, different perspective, different way than I ever thought about it before in my entire life. And his story, he said that he had like a lady that he built this house for. This house was an octagon shaped house too that we were in. And he said that he'd built this house for his woman and stuff, and then things fell apart and she left him, and he was, thinking about selling it, blah, blah, blah. But he hadn't really made up his mind yet, He didn't really tell me where he was from. It was just really, really weird, you guys. It was just really strange. And the other strange part is I went and looked in his mirror, and I felt extremely beautiful and extremely skinny. I had a completely new perception about everything the whole time I was there. The next morning I got up. He wasn't in bed anymore, and I went downstairs. It was like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. And there was like 3 different plates of food sitting there that he had ordered from 3 different places of takeout to bring home, to bring in or whatever while I was asleep, because he didn't know when I was going to wake up, I guess. And so there you go. That was the pretty woman experience. Anyways, so I ended up going home and everything like that, and it was just really weird. About a week later, my sister, Julie, she had a job over cleaning a house across the street from this guy's house. I didn't know where it was. I just went with her to clean the house because she asked me to come. And it ended up being across from this guy's house. For sure enough, there was a for sale sign on the door. I went and looked through the window. There was nothing in the room. It was weird, okay? Just really weird. But it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I finally, so like it took me 8 years to look up his name. And I looked up his name and found out that Hamied is the archangel of miracles. So there you go. I met Hamied, the archangel of miracles, and I've been using him as a guide ever since. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to work, but I've been talking to him as if he's one of my guides ever since I met him 10 years ago, ever since I had this experience, because it was so bizarre. And isn't it cute that he used fireman as the call name and he came to put out my fire? Haha, gave me a pretty woman experience. It was just bizarre, you guys, okay? This is a true story. It really happened. But I believe this man to be an ascended master in the flesh, you know, just outside of time. He's walking the dimensions, guys, and he came in to give me an experience from outside of time. And I just wanted you guys to know that I know this guy. And anyways, Archangel of Miracles at my disposal. I love you all. Take care.